So these are my baby-led weaning top tips and essentials for getting started. Obviously you're going to need a high chair of some sort, and this could be like a small fold out one, this could be one similar to this. I do recommend one that's got like a white clean surface, so nothing with too much kind of canvassy material. This tray is just about the right size and it can be pulled off and stored on the back, and it comes with an insert. So the second thing you're going to need is bibs of some sort. This is a bibadoo, and it's got an elasticated bit that you put around the tray. It's long sleeved and it velcros at the back. I'll show you once it's on him. And I also have these smaller bibs for if he's just having a snack, and I keep them on a command hook that I've just put on the back, so that they're all within reach. Other things I'd recommend are plates of some sort. I quite like these with the suction on the back, but you just got to be careful that they fit on the tray that you have on your high chair. The bowls are really good. They look quite small when you get them in the post, but actually they're the perfect size for a child. It's just we're used to eating off bigger. Tesco, so they're just silicone ice cube moulds, and I pureed a bunch of fruit and veg before I started weaning Freddie, and I found it really useful to just be able to pull out a couple of cubes in the evening. They'll be defrosted in the morning, and yeah, you can add them to all sorts of different recipes. And then I quite like these bowls because they're triangular, for when I'm spoon feeding him. So obviously I do baby led weaning most of the time, but sometimes just to make sure that I know that he's getting food, I'll use some of these as well. Other than that, once you've got a high chair, a bib and something to serve food off, to be honest, in the early days I did put a lot of the stuff straight on his tray, because he does like to pull at these. If he gets a bit bored of eating, he'll start pulling these up, and obviously, you know, they would stick really well to the work surface, but because these are slightly too wide for the high chair, the suction starts to give up a bit. So that's just something to bear in mind when you're buying them. So the way I put these on, because Freddie quite likes to put his feet in it sometimes, I just tuck it over I do them up first, otherwise you're flapping underneath it. But you can either put it underneath the tray or underneath the seat. And then there's these nifty little buttons that can shorten the arm, so you can grow with your child basically. And there's a little handy pocket that it all tucks into if you're chucking it in your nappy bag to take it out. I've taken it out to places like Pizza Hut and stuff where I've been with my family. Just two these up. I find he's a lot happier in it if I put him in it just as I'm about to serve food. So there's a Velcro patch at the back, and then because there's usually a gap between the tray and the bib, you can either have it over, but I find that he just tucks all the food under it and doesn't know where it's gone. So what I do is there's a little rest in between the legs so that the baby doesn't slip through. I just tuck it underneath that and pull it through a little bit, and then all the food ends up in here, it's caught by the bib, and then I can. So there he is. He is 7.5 months old. I have about 4 different cups that I feed him from. So we have this. It's one of the 360 type cups, where the water comes out of the little lip. I have a small with a straw because he's just getting used to kind of doing that, and we also have the Tomme Tippee first sippy cup, and I'd say this is his favourite, and he usually drinks most out of this, but it's finding the right thing for your child. So yeah, those I would. So the other thing I would recommend for cleanup is something similar to a baby washcloth or a flannel. We got given some baby washcloths and haven't used them as washcloths, so we use them as cleanups. Otherwise, you end up with this, and you go through hundreds of wet wipes, which obviously isn't great for the environment. So something like a washcloth that you can keep rinsing out is great. So those are my baby led weaning essentials. So good luck.